Why are you in pajamas right now? Look at that. Look at that. It's just way. Ah, damn. After this, what I did, I drove home, looked in the mirror, and cried for about 20 seconds straight. The code that gets called a lot to every single method and function there is. What's up, guys? Alright, yo, so we were talking about the Pixhawk, right? Like, oh, we might use the Pixhawk as our autopilot. Also forgot to show you guys the autopilot gliding, so let's check it out. Alright, let's go. You know what's good right now? The wind is coming directly this way. That's okay, we got autopilot, right? Man, I worked on this code, I did everything. It's all good. Now some of you might be wondering, Tariq, why are you in pajamas right now? All I want to say is, like, this drone stuff is too easy. I'm probably gonna fall asleep, that's why I need pajamas. It's just, yeah, like I was saying, this drone stuff, man, I'm in pajamas because this drone stuff is just way too easy. Look at that. It's just way too easy for me. Oh wait, whoa. As you guys know, drones are very difficult. Fell to the second floor. Okay, well, there it is. On a serious note, it needs a little bit more nose weight. With the added control surface area, I'm confident that it can like control itself and stabilize itself now. So I'm going to start giving it more nose weight. The reason that it turned left and went back inside the building because of the wind was because right now we're only stabilizing roll and pitch. We're not stabilizing yaw at all, and that's really important. More and more challenges I come across, the more I realize how like difficult it's going to be. But you know, we're gonna have to work through it, because what did Abraham Lincoln say? If you got drone problems, I feel bad for you, son. I got 99 problems, but autopilot ain't one. Abraham Lincoln. He's a good man. He said that. I was there. I saw him. We're gonna tune out the glide specifications. We're going to find the most efficient angle that we can be at to glide in. Alright, something else I worked on is changing between pitch angles, roll angles, and stuff like that. Alright, so while we're uploading, here's the code. It's really basic. It's just a y equals mx plus b type thing, and what that does is it makes like imagine like a graph, and the x value is time. So I'll probably just have a drawing for this, but the x value is time, and as time moves forward, it changes the value of the PID thing that it's stabilizing at, because we're not saying, okay, roll this much. We're saying, okay, stabilize the airplane. Instead of stabilizing the airplane here, stabilize it to this value, and it changes that value over time. So that's what we want to do. Ah, damn. No. God damn it! No, listen. No. You know what the problem is, man? Well, no, Tariq, I do not know what the problem is. Well, let me tell you, you goddamn butt face. Okay, so what's going on in these videos right here and why I'm crashing is basically because I told the airplane, hey, you know what, just dive for 5 seconds and then pull up afterwards. No, it doesn't. Airplanes don't work that way. They don't dive for 5 seconds. Conditions aren't the same all the time. After this, what I did, I drove home, looked in the mirror, and cried for about 20 seconds straight, and then I punched the mirror because, I don't know, that's what the script tells me to say. Anyways, listen. Okay, look, basically all I'm saying is 5 seconds isn't a good indicator of when an airplane should pull up, right? So what I did instead of doing 5 seconds was that I told the airplane, hey, you know, like, lose this much altitude and then pull up. And then that ended up working magnificently. Oh yeah, you guys didn't believe me. Look, watch these videos. Look at the airplane dive and then pull back up. That's the airplane itself. That's just the Arduino. I'm not controlling anything, man. And also, let me go over some concepts that we're going to be implementing into the autopilot pretty soon. I think we need to start looking at frat boys to see how we're going to make this decision. When do they start pulling up? When they need to go to the beach and their arms are looking like goddamn french fries. Yes, I sound delusional, but it makes sense if you think about it. Here, look, something drove them to that decision, right? They had a problem and then they used a predetermined solution to fix that problem. People have had French fry arms for centuries now. It's not like Arnold himself came by and held their hands through it. No, that's exactly how I think we should tackle problems in the autopilot as well. All right, so the frat boys had a problem, which was, the French fries, and they used a solution to fix that problem. Problem, solution, problem, solution. Same thing. Problem, your aircraft is stalling. Solution, you increase your speed. Problem, you're off course. Solution, bank to the right course. That simple. As pilots, we already know what all these problems are and we already have solutions to them. So the hardest part of this project of making this autopilot is going to be putting all these solutions that we know into code. That's basically what we have left. So I'll probably have another video explaining everything that I have, stall prevention, everything like that. So the airplane glides so well right now. We also have it turning, making banks and turns and so on and so forth. So you can watch these videos right after these clips play. I'm going to explain probably one of the most important parts of this code and like a piece of code that gets called a lot to every single method and function there is. So let's imagine you're flying and we're going to set really, really basic variables here. So at time equals 4, we're going to set the pitch angle to 4 degrees. Let's set context a little bit as well. The way that our PID program works is that it stabilizes to a certain angle of attack. So as always, it's 0 when it's gliding, but we could tell it to just stabilize to 4 degrees of angle attack. That way it stabilizes while it's going to 4 degrees as well and keeps it stable at that point. Quick question right here. When you guys are flying your airplanes and you're moving your sticks, is it smooth inputs and like gradually over time, or do you guys just smash the button backwards? Well, I mean, it's smooth inputs, right? If when it gets to 4 seconds, we instantly tell the computer to change the angle of attack from 0 to 4, we're going to have drag, we might risk a stall, so on and so forth. So this graph on the right is really important. I'm pretty sure most of you understand it by now, but for the rest, I want to explain what it actually is. So the y value is the angle that the airplane is flying at, and the x value is the time. So we said we want to change the angle of the aircraft over time so it's a little bit more linear and smooth. So angle over time, geometry. Trying to explain a circle to somebody but then going off on a tangent. And also, what about cocaine? What do these all have in common? Lines. So to translate this onto our graph, basically the angle that the airplane is at changes over time. So to set all this equation up, you have m, which is your slope of this straight line, which is angle over time. Then you have x, which is the moving variable, which is time. And then you need something to offset all of this so it always starts at the angle that you want it to start at, no matter what time you are at. So congratulations, you basically just derived y equals mx plus b. So instead of finding the formula for 4 seconds, you define all the variables at first, and then you let the computer fill those variables in as it needs to later on. So this way, the computer can determine what angle attack it needs to be at and how to change it or how fast it changes. So this way it'll stay on the fly, on its toes.
On the edge, where I gotta be.
So, but really, that's all there is to it. At this point, you just use this and call it out in methods and functions. That overall just smooths everything out. I mean, just watch this video. The aircraft is supposed to dive 2 meters and then, level out and glide for it. And look at how smooth it is. Just instantly. It's so nice. And, as like, for comparison, here's a video while we make it bank instantly, for comparison's sakes. And yeah, as you can see, the aircraft doesn't even get to bank because of how much adverse yaw there is. And, let's compare this to a flight where we did gradually change this over time. And look at how smoothly it banks and turns around 90 degrees. Well, alright guys, thanks for tuning in. Sorry I didn't have a ton of content, but I just wanted to update you guys. What's next is we're also going to get an airspeed indicator, but that's after we integrate a compass into our current autopilot. After the compass is integrated, we also brought another guy, Daniel Wooen. I'll introduce him to you guys later on, and I'll hopefully also get Kemal on screen as well. But I don't know, we're making slow progress, but it's progress nonetheless, Also, hit me up on Instagram, hit me up on Twitter. I'm trying to have more, drone people that I'm following that I regularly, that regularly post content, I guess. I mean, I post, drone pictures every now and then, but they get 2 likes, and I get super self-conscious and erase the pictures, So I'm trying to have a little bit more of people from my side of interests. But appreciate you guys either way. Thanks for tuning in.